In 1913, she wrote, "A rose is a rose is a rose." Well, I'm gonna be honest with you, this is not your normal basic rose. This is an incredible, incredible rose. In fact, we've doubled the offer, doubled the petals. Everything about this is wow. There truly is nothing like getting roses. You've got them as a gift or for Mother's Day. Boy, we hate to throw them out, but imagine if you could grow your own glorious roses on your patio, in your yard, in your garden, and that is the beginning of our fabulous story tonight. I want you guys to see these because they're incredible. You're getting a whole set of red and you're getting a set of the pink, and they're gonna come to your home right away, and literally between 30 and 60 days, you will start to see blooms. How neat is that? Okay, so we've got a lot to get into, and I'm so pumped tonight. We got a great price. I would recommend that you think about getting more than one set because this is a phenomenal, phenomenal deal that we're offering you. So let me start here. I'm gonna show you what I have beside me, and then I'm gonna show you the bigger ones. This is literally first year. Can you imagine? In 30 to 60 days, you start to see blooms, and then it just gets better and better. This is about year 2 that you're gonna see up here in front of me, and then they can continue to be as big as you'd like, a big bush, but they also make great containers, and you're getting both. Now, what makes these really cool is the actual rose themselves, because they're not your typical rose. What happens with a normal rose is you're gonna get anywhere between about between 5 and 13 petals. Here's what's neat about ours. You're getting anywhere between 18 and 25 petals per rose. And the great news is these can grow in any climate. So it doesn't matter what zone you are, it doesn't matter where you live, you're gonna get beautiful, gorgeous, fresh roses in your garden, your patio, or your yard, year in and year out. It is phenomenal. So let me show you how they come too, because this is crazy great, you guys. Right now, this is actually a 3-year-old bush. And what I love is these aren't starters. You don't have to wait for years to get something to happen. Literally 30 to 60 days after you plant these, you're gonna start seeing those beautiful blooms. And then of course it just gets better than that. That's how they come to you. Now the nice part about it is you get all the instructions. They're included. How to plant them, how to maintain them, how to make them bigger if you want as they grow, and how to care for them, although they're very easy care. Even if you think you're a brown thumb, you're actually a green thumb because of leaf and petal. Well, are we ready to go to the Skype? Okay. Hey, Rick, if you do me a favor and just type it up when they're ready so I can jump right to them, that would be awesome. And here's what we're doing. Miss Rochelle's joining me. She is a phenomenal landscape designer, and she joins us. Hello, Miss Rochelle. It is good to see you this evening.
Hi there, how are you?
I gotta tell you, I am so happy because roses make everyone smile, and they make your home feel so wonderful when you're surrounded by them.
Yes, yes. You know, it's so funny you say that because I was just reading this little story earlier today. I just happened upon it. I think it was in Vogue magazine actually, and it was talking about this study that was done between flowers and like chocolates and I don't know, some other very nice thing. And they did this study about which of these things makes you happier. And roses, well, it was flowers in general, but 100% of the time gave you the most happy feeling of all of these like perfectly lovely, nice things you could send to somebody. Flowers make you happy. They just really do.
Yeah, and you know what, flowers anytime. You know, I've started, especially during this time, Rochelle, because I'm stuck at home, I wanted to bring some beauty into this, what can be kind of a sad circumstance. And I went to the store with my mask and the whole thing, and I saw these flowers, and so far I've been buying a bouquet every couple of weeks because I truly wanted to bring something with beauty into my home, simply to make my heart happier. So this is very near and dear to me, whether it's in regular times or simply right now. Also, I think, Rochelle, as you know, so many people are really looking at their home, their decks, their gardens, their balconies, and saying, how can I bring real beauty into these spaces? Wouldn't you agree with that?
Oh, definitely. I mean, I'm doing it myself. I'm spending so much more time. I mean, I'm a gardener for a living, and I am spending so much more time this year improving my space. One, because I'm not sure, you know, when am I going to be able to go on that vacation that I actually had a couple vacations planned? When am I going to be able to enjoy places beyond this? But I'm lucky that I do have a yard and I can plant things. I can grow all kinds of things. Flowers, namely, is what I prefer. I also grow vegetables and stuff like that too, but flowers are my personal favorite because, yeah, I mean, it's just really satisfying not only to be able to cut and bring things inside, but also just to kind of reconnect with nature and feel, for me, anxiety and stress just melts away when I am in my garden. So the more flowers, the better, the more plants, the better, as far as I'm concerned. I love to surround myself with them. So these two are fantastic. And I've been growing these, by the way, these are knockout roses. I want to make sure that we know the difference because roses are, of course, a beautiful, beautiful plant and the prize of any garden, but knockout roses are kind of a whole different thing. Knockout roses, which is what you're going to get here, 2 double knockout roses. So the double referring to the double amount of petals, a pink and a red. The knockout roses really revolutionized the rose growing world when they came out about 20 years ago. And basically, I mean, I know when I was a baby gardener, when I was just buying my first home like 20 something years ago, I grew up with my mom and my grandparents, all gardeners. And I remember my mom saying to me, I don't know, don't start with roses, sweetie, because they're a little tricky. And I didn't. I was scared of them, as she was a big rose grower. But the thing is knockout roses changed all of that, because all of those problems that you associate with growing roses and what does make growing roses kind of tricky was all taken away with knockout roses. They are pest resistant. They don't get the fungus that a lot of them get. They bloom like crazy. They have this nice shape. They're not kind of, a lot of times the roses the old-fashioned types and stuff, they don't have the best foliage. These have a nice foliage. They're just these massive performers in your garden. You really cannot go wrong with them. They're basically, we talk about daylilies here on HSN a lot. We have a lot of those to offer. And I always tell people how they are the easiest plant to grow. I would say the only thing that even approaches that is knockout roses, which is crazy to say because most roses just are not that easy, but knockouts are
truly a knockout.
That's
thus the great name.
Really, that's what's so exciting about knockout roses. They are such a premier rose plant.
Right, exactly. Okay, so let's kind of go through the process, because number one, it doesn't matter what zone you are, they're going to work, and I think that's so important. They're shipping to you right away. But let's start, well, basically in the beginning. We're not just getting a little teeny stick and then we've got to pray 10 years from now we're gonna see a rose. Explain what I'm showing here, if you will.
Yeah, so I have mine here, and what you're getting, these are actually, so first of all, let me just tell you, when you buy a rose in a nursery and you're getting that potted container, you're going to get basically this, but it will be planted with dirt all around it. But what you're not going to get is the age of this. Potted roses are not that old. They're about a year old, whereas these are 2 years old. So that means they are essentially probably twice as big. What we do is we grow them in the field. So this is a very different type of product. Potted roses are grown in pots, totally different sort of thing. This type of plant, as soon as it gets into your garden, because it hasn't been grown in the pot and therefore being constricted by the edges of the container and all that, this is used to spreading out. This was grown in the field. We pruned its roots back. It's got all of this life and vigor of a really healthy 2-year-old plant. These plants were 24 inches by 24 inches when they were harvested. Wow. So we prune them back just as you would, when you're pruning your roses back in your garden. And so then when we bring them to market here and you purchase one and put it in your garden, all of that growth that comes out, you're basically getting that 2 years of growth all at once, because all of that is right there ready to go. It's as if you've been planted, it's as if you planted this garden, it's as if you planted this rose in your garden like 2 years earlier. You've
Right,
got that 2-year
right.
jump start, basically.
Which is huge, because a lot of times if you're trying to do something and you're trying to buy a plant like this, you get just this little starter thing, and then you're like, okay, this is gonna be 10 years before I see anything. You're getting that jump start. It is like these were planted in a container or in your garden or in your yard 2 years ago. So you already have that head start. And I want you to see, Chris, if we can go really close up, they really are ready to go. These are about to start blooming, which is so exciting. You know, I think the reason we go through drive-thrus is because we like to get our food instantly. We don't like to wait. This is gonna give you that satisfaction and that gratification very rapidly. I think a lot of us who try to garden and we're like, oh man, you know, I don't have the patience. I don't wanna wait forever to see something happen. Because of the way Leaf and Petal has set this up, you're gonna get that quick satisfaction. The planting of these are very easy. They're very hardy. That's important. I know Rochelle was referring to that. You don't have to be a fabulous gardener to really make these work. Also, what I love about this, if you've got a really boring yard right now and you want to go from blah to stunning, I mean blockbuster beautiful, get more than one of these. These will grow and can grow to be very large bushes. I mean, really showstoppers. If you want to do a whole hedge, get 4 of these and you're gonna have the most glorious yard. And here's what I would do, why I would do it early. We don't have a lot of these for the entire day. We're gonna sell a whole bunch of these before the day's over. It is a fantastic deal from a brilliant company who give you a 1-year warranty on these. So a year from now, if you're not, even 60 days from now, 90 days, you know, whatever, they're gonna give you a year, a manufacturer's 1-year warranty. If you're not thrilled, you can still get your refund. They're gonna take care of you if you're not happy. That's why we go with this company, with Leaf and Petal, and that's why they stand behind their product. If they didn't, they'd be out of business. So clearly, they've had a lot of success. But when you see the blooms, when you take these and clip them and putting them in arrangement in your home, when you give them to that neighbor who's been a real doll to you during this kind of tough time, this is just something that's so exciting. And they are perennials. They'll come back year after year after year. And Rochelle, something I found out that was interesting is, say here in Florida, I understand not only we get blooms, but we will get them for a long time when they bloom.
Yes, yes, that's another big feature of the knockout roses is that length of bloom time. Again, it's the breeding of the knockout roses that revolutionized this industry for rose growing and rosarians and people who want to have big, beautiful, gorgeous blooms like this and roses in their garden. I just wanted to go back to what you were saying about the hedging. I actually have kind of a hedge of these. Mine are the singles. I planted it, oh gosh, probably about 10 years ago, of red ones. And I have to say, I do absolutely nothing to them. And they come back year in and year out, and they just bloom and bloom and bloom. I mean, all summer long, they're the last thing. Even I've taken pictures in November. I'm up here in Boston before that first freeze, and I still have blooms on those. It's shocking. And they're just about to start, I would say, in another 3 weeks, maybe. I'm seeing the buds coming out now. It's still a little bit early. But yeah, as soon as they start, they're not going to stop. So that is what's so exciting about these particular roses is that bloom period goes right, you know, from sort of early summer, right at the beginning of the summer, all the way through to the frost, if you get a frost.
So nice. Okay, now how shall I plant? Let's say I want to do a hedge like that. How much space should I put in between them?
So these are going to get to be about 3 to 4 feet in width and height. So if you want to have them grow together in a hedge, you're going to want to plant them on somewhere between 3 and 4 foot centers is what we say. So about 3 to 4 feet between each stem. Okay.
And then let's say I want to use them as a container, because I understand they make great container roses.
They do, they do. And I've got mine actually planted, the ones that I just got. I put them in a nice big container like you've got there. I would say, I've got one right here too. I would go minimum of 16-inch container. Okay. But the bigger, the better, because the more root space you can give this, the more you're gonna be able to get it bigger up top and more blooms. And also the easier it will be to care for, because just know that when you go with a smaller container, you have to water it more and you have to feed it more. So giving it a little more root space is better. But I do want to tell you something too, as far as planting them. When you plant them, you want to, they're very easy. All you need to do is you can kind of see right on the stalk where the original dirt line was. You'll see that when yours arrives. And you just need to basically plant it to that same dirt level. Just kind of put it in the soil. You're going to dig a hole. But one thing I want to show you is right under here, you can see that there's this like kind of hollow area. When you dig your hole, you'll dig a nice hole. You'll set your plant in. But what I want you to do is just put a mound of dirt kind of in the center here, because you want to ensure that this sort of hollow spot under here also makes good root contact with the dirt. And then you'll be off to the races with your roses. Just fill that back in, give it a nice water. And you can see that mine here, most of them, well, I do have one that doesn't have any green shoots off of it yet. Yours may or may not arrive with the green shoots off of it. If it doesn't, don't worry. It will happen, and they will start to put the shoots out, and you'll get these big, beautiful shrubs really just right away. I mean, 30 to 60 days, you're going to have those flowers coming out, because these are mature rose bushes is what you're getting, mature rose bushes.
Right, it's just, and like I said, a lot of places that are mail order or that you get a catalog for them, they'll send you out just one little stick and you're like, oh good Lord, this is gonna take me 10 years to get any kind of production out of it. With these, and again, I'm gonna show mine close up, guys, if you don't mind showing this. I want you to see, in fact, this is thick. It's really hardy. It's not one of those little wimpy, like I said, sticks. I mean, it's really a beautiful, beautiful plant to begin with. But right there, can you see? These are literally ready to explode. So within 30 to 60 days, can you imagine whether this is on your balcony or your patio, your deck, or you're putting them out in the yard, you're all of a sudden gonna see these explosion of these multi-petaled, vigorous roses, that brilliant, brilliant red, which is so gorgeous, that soft, pretty pink. There's such satisfaction in that. And again, you don't have to be a green thumb. Don't worry, because Leaf and Petal has figured it out. They know most of us are not experienced gardeners like Rochelle. We're like, oh please, I hope I can grow these. They made it really easy. Now here's the scoop though. This is an exclusive deal you can only find here at HSN. Don't worry about your zone. A lot of people think, oh, am I in the right zone? It doesn't matter. Everybody is in the right zone. Our timing couldn't be more perfect. You can plant these right away when you get them at home, but you cannot get this offer anywhere else. Remember, normal roses, I thought this was interesting, are about 5 to 13 petals. These are double. They're 18 to 25 petals, and you can really see they aren't your typical boring rose sometimes you get for Mother's Day or Valentine's Day. You know how they're kind of wimpy looking. These, in fact, you just pick any of them. Look how dense the petals are. Look at that. Look at how incredible is that? Have you ever seen a rose that dense? Most of us are used to the kind of wimpy roses we see at the grocery store or a floral shop. Never this kind of beauty and density that you see here. And again, that's that whole story about the double knockout roses. And think about this as a gift idea. Do you have a couple people in your neighborhood have been wonderful to you right now? They're checking in on you. They come to the driveway and say, hey, do you need anything? These will come right to your door. Can you imagine the next time they stop by, you hand this to them and say, I want to say thank you because you've helped me so much during this time. You keep one, give the red away, or you keep the red, give the pink away, whichever. This would be just the neatest, neatest gift, and how unexpected. Also, I'll tell you something else really cool to do. What you might want to think of is we have what's called delivery direct. Now here's what I would do. Let's say you're not going to be around your mom. You haven't seen her a really long time. It could be a family member. It could be a birthday. Order this from us, but tell us where to send it. And so instead of sending just some dumb flowers that cost a fortune, I mean, how much will you spend on a dozen roses that will die quickly and they're only one use? Why not send this? And can you imagine how neat and unusual and unique that'll be for that special gift for somebody you love? Also, I love it because Leaf and Petal has a great plant food. I do want to mention this too. Really easy. They almost look like those little gel pods, right? Yeah. You get 50 of these. They're available. I only have 900 left for the whole day. These could very well sell out in this